calendar may say autumn, but temperatures are still pretty sweltering here in North Florida. But the good news, the radar is clear. Still, hydration will be key today at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. On play action, it's Wentz rolling to his left, and his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Nine yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Malone. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Wentz. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. Shifts past him at the 45. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. On first down, Wentz. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now Wentz again. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, they were advancing the ball. They had a couple first downs under their belt, but a big mistake there on the opening drive leads to 6 points the other direction.
And what a good read that was on his part, Brandon, because it prevents a possible scoring drive with how they were moving things along. And it gives the defense the early advantage of what's going to be a definitely entertaining battle between these units.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Out to his left. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Wentz. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. They'll drop that underneath to ETN. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Lawrence going to fire it out wide, complete. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Zay Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars go up by 2 touchdowns. McManus's point after is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But we think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
44 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. And the Jaguars are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So a 2nd NFL interception for him, and he is looking the part here in year 1.
And normally, partner, you talk about cornerbacks and safeties being the ball hawk type of guys, and they always will be, because they'll get more opportunities. This young man has potential to be a ball hawk from the linebacker position. I think that's why he was drafted as high as he was, and he'll stay on the field on most downs. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end, because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. On the return, it's Rodgers. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
Trayvon Walker. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wentz. And this one is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Wentz to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. He got back in his own 3. Devon Hamilton in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. On first down, Lawrence. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Colts are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Throw it. Down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's the backup Mayfield, and he's got it complete to Anderson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
To throw, Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade Amulican. And the Jags will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interception.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Evan Ingram, 57 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent game.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. That's caught by his tight end, Kylan Granson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
On second down, it's Taylor, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On third down, Mayfield. And this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here we go on 4th down. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They begin on the ground here with Connor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Lawrence to throw. In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there at 22.
And not that the coach asked me, but I do like the call there to start the drive. Looking for something maybe to jumpstart this offense. And they decide to run a little screen play. Maybe give their running back a little bit of space. Mission accomplished. He turns that into good yardage and a quick.
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Trayvon Walker. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing, Mayfield. Looking deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's fourth down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 21-0 lead already, no need really to take any unnecessary risks. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here's Lawrence. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burned the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
In them deep.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis on Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Second half starts with a run by Etienne. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll try the jet sweep with Kirk. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Now Lawrence to throw. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, but it's fourth down. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's on the tackle, Braden Smith. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Hey, 133.
Now Mayfield. They'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Agnew now to return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Etienne once more. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From midfield now, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Colts are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, it's Malone, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job. but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. On the return, here's Agnew, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Lawrence. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And down he'll go at the 25.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Rodgers to return it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score. This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. 19 yards there on the catch and run. A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Mayfield. He'll get this off to Taylor. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on down. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Another tote for Etienne. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And they'll get him down up past the 15. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Mayfield now. They're going right back to Pittman. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Colts on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Mayfield. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown.
So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a two-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. On second down, ETN once more. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. McLaughlin for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, right back to ETN. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. This defense really clamping down. Although they're losing the game still, this second half has been theirs.
And they're winning it. I almost equate it to being a boxer. And whenever you see a good fight, the guy who is on his toes and doing the punching, that's the guy who's winning, and that's the way they're going at it defensively now. Much more aggressive in their calls, much more aggressive in their pursuit.
On second down, a run with ETN. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Lawrence. He completes it to Boyd. And he will have a Jaguars first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand.
Here goes it.